For getting your garden ready for the freezing weather, one of the most underrated ways to protect your plants is mulch. A lot of people think frost protection is only about covering the top of the plant, but the real secret is protecting the soil temperature because the ground is like a heat battery. During the day, your soil is going to absorb warmth from the sun, and at night, it slowly releases the heat back upward. When you add mulch like pine straw, leaves, wood, or even compost, it works like a blanket over the soil. It helps slow down heat loss so the ground stays warmer longer, and it can make a big difference on cold nights. Mulch also helps protect the root zone from sudden temperature swings, and that matters because even if a plant gets a little leaf damage, a healthy protected root system gives it a much better chance of bouncing back once the soil actually warms up. Another bonus is moisture control. Mulch helps keep the soil from drying out from the cold winds, which will help actually retain heat in the soil. A dry soil will not retain heat as well as one that has moisture in it. We don't want to have too much excessive moisture, and this is one of the reasons why, if it's been dry before cold weather, we'll actually water ahead of the cold freezing temperatures. So if you're preparing for a cold snap, don't just think about above ground. Think about mulching the soil to hold the temperature. Next, when we think about covering the plants with frost cloth or some form of protection, we often want to keep that protection off of the actual foliage of the plant. This helps keep the plants and the soil warmer longer. One of the best ways we can do that is to prepare with some PVC pipe hoops. All we're doing here is bending PVC pipe over in an arch across the bed and shoving it down into the soil a good ways. This is going to keep the cloth from smashing the plants and helps create a nice little air pocket underneath. Now let's talk a little bit about the cover itself, because this is where a lot of people accidentally make freeze damage worse. When it comes to cold protection, cloth is always going to be better than plastic, and the reason is simple. Cloth works like a blanket, while plastic can act like a problem. Cloth holds heat better because it traps a layer of air underneath. The trapped air slows down heat loss, and it helps hold on to warmth coming up from the ground overnight. Cloth also blocks wind, which is a big deal, because freezing wind strips heat away from the plant's leaves fast. Plastic might seem like it would block wind better, but outside in real conditions, it usually doesn't. Plastic will end up flapping in the wind kind of like a sail, and that movement actually kind of pumps cold air in and out underneath the cover. It also doesn't seal as tightly around the edges, so wind can sneak right in and steal your heat. One more thing is that plastic actually traps moisture. The condensation can freeze, and that can make the cold injury worse. Let us know in the comments how you're protecting your plants this winter.